Good morning. In the home stretch on day 10 of my 10-day journey and trek being homeless. I'm Dean Wright. I'm the Executive Director of the Freeport Area Church Cooperative, an emergency food, clothing, and shelter provider in Northwest Illinois, serving the homeless of Northwest Illinois. For the last 10 days I've been homeless, living on the streets of Freeport. This is day 10. I have one more night left to go, and tonight I'll be staying under a roof in a structure that has heat and a bed over at the Liberty Avenue Mission, which is a 9-bed emergency shelter that FACC operates. I'm here this morning at the Van Buren Street Bridge. I left FACC last night a little late, just trying to get a little bit of work done. I'm way behind in preparing for tomorrow's hunger luncheon. I wasn't very focused yesterday. I was very tired, despondent at times, just not really on my game. The night before was a little rough. So I stayed a little bit late, got some work done, headed out about 9:30, and was intending on staying here under the Van Buren Street Bridge. I'd kind of abandoned the shanty along the river just out of safety concerns. Too many people maybe figuring out where it's at and then wanting to find me. So Van Buren Street Bridge is kind of where I was headed. Made a pit stop in the alley behind 9 East. If you saw the bonus feature from this morning, that's a score, that's a hit. And it was a nice cherry turnover and a very delicious 9 East. Ate the cherry turnover, started heading here. Wind was blowing really hard out of the north. The cold has come back, and stood at the edge of the Van Buren Street Bridge, about ready to kind of go underneath, and I just kind of said, you know what, Dean, you're not going to get much sleep here, and you got to be on your game tomorrow because you got a lot of work you got to get done for this hunger luncheon. Decided to hoof it down the tracks, get back to the shanty. Got back there, and fell asleep for a few hours. Was going to do the whole campfire thing this morning, get some breakfast rolling on it, but just got more nervous about just stuff that needs to get done. So hoofed it back to FACC very early, kind of posted the 9 East dumpster dive footage, got to work. Decided then to just come back out here to the Van Buren Bridge and do the blog from here this morning, because it's a nice bridge. I really like it, actually. It's very peaceful here. So Monday, many of you following probably are going, what happened on Monday? What went down? Monday just started off kind of as a frustrating day. Ticket sales for the hunger luncheon, I found out, are way down. A little frustrating, especially considering this 10-day journey I've been on. It may have done some things, but it hasn't raised a whole lot of money. That wasn't the intention. The intention was awareness, but it hasn't really translated much into ticket sales for the hunger luncheon that's tomorrow. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's disappointing, but it is what it is. But later that day, I kind of got a report, kind of a follow-up with Scotty Lewis, our homeless service director, about, hey, what's the story with the kid that I helped get off the street on Sunday night? Kind of, took myself out of homelessness for a minute to help him get out of his homelessness. Scotty just kind of shook his head. He said, well, you're not going to want to hear this, but, that kid didn't follow up with a single thing that he was supposed to follow up with on Monday. And that kind of probably turned that slow burn that I was feeling into some frustration, and some deep frustration, a little bit of bitterness on my part. As I left that night, I just kept starting to think of all the people over the years that I've helped, that FACC has helped, that has just played us, burned us, who has taken what we've given and basically spit it in our face. And I got angry. I got really angry. And I walked, and I walked, and I walked. And I got to tell you, as much as I've been preaching compassion this week for the homeless, I didn't feel terribly compassionate Monday night. Homeless people were not on the top of my list on Monday night. At some point in time, I just was, my feet were killing me. I was exhausted. I kind of hunkered down behind the bowling alley for about an hour, 2 hours, took a little nap, and then got up, walked a little bit more, and then came to FACC. I'm feeling better today. A lot of your encouragement on Facebook and a few emails and some phone calls helped. They really did. And really what they helped me do is they helped to remind me of some folks that I've had conversations with this week who have not been following me on Facebook. They haven't been following me on YouTube. These people don't even have computers. A day hasn't gone by in this 10-day journey that somebody who we have served at FACC, someone who was homeless, hasn't ran into me on the street or even made the time and the effort to come over to FACC to see me at my office to say thank you for doing this, for bringing awareness to the homeless and giving me words of encouragement. Just keep on it, keep on it. And as much as I appreciate all those friends out there on Facebook sending me those words of encouragement, I started really thinking yesterday about those words that I've received this week from people who have been homeless, people who have been grateful for the help that they've been given. And that's inspiring to me. That kind of helped me pull my head up and say, you know, Dean, get back in the game. There's a reality to homeless people. There is. There's no question about it. And I couldn't really come up with the exact math for you on this, but if I took a stab at it, I would say that, you know, there's going to be a group of homeless folks who are mentally ill, and that's really why they're homeless. They haven't the capacity to stay focused on doing what they need to do to provide shelter and food for themselves. And we need to take care of them. We need to help them as best we can. We need to be as compassionate as we can. There are guys that we are serving right now that I'm pretty convinced they're going to be with us for a long, long time. And they're very grateful for the help that they receive. They're going to be with us for a while. And that's okay. That's all right. They're humans, and we need to treat them with dignity and compassion and respect and help them. There's going to be a group of homeless folks out there who are addicted to alcohol and who are drug addicts. And though their conditions is a little bit easier to overcome than mental illness, they're in an addiction. And their addiction is creating a huge barrier to them becoming housed. Some of these guys are angry. Some of them are bitter. And some of them will receive services one day and then cuss you out the next. And the guy that I ran onto the street, won't go into his story, but we've helped that gentleman plenty of times, many times. Even after he is actually stolen from us, we've helped him. And, you know, his reaction to me is to dog me out. Okay, I get it. That's what guys like that are going to do. We need to pray for them. That's what we need to pray for them. We need to pray that they find a path. They find a path out of their addiction, and they find a path to employment. They find a path to getting their own place and getting off the street and being safe. We just need to pray for them, that God would open their eyes to see a path out of the lifestyle that they are, you know, immersed in. And that's not an easy thing to do. It's not. But we have to pray. Not sure if I'd give them money, not sure if I'd give them cash, not sure, quite frankly, how much I'm going to, you know, bend over out of a whole lot of time and spending a whole lot of resources. I'm just being honest here. Resources on, you know, an addict or an alcoholic, other than if they're really sincere about receiving some treatment. Because until they receive that treatment, until they overcome that barrier, they're just going to play you. They're just going to play you. And we have to be guarded against that and make sure that you're not squandering resources. I see that a lot. I see that play a lot. There's a group out there of homeless people that necessarily aren't addicted. They're not mentally ill. They got some issues, but probably maybe their biggest issue is they're just lazy. They don't want to go out and get it. They don't want to work. And for the most part, they're kind of comfortable with their lifestyle. They're just comfortable with their life. It's no big deal to them to not know where they're going. It's no big deal to them to sponge off this person, sponge off that person. You know, fine, as long as you're not causing me any trouble, any problems, you know, be who you're going to be, do what you're going to do, whatever. Now, am I going to go out of my way to do this and that, drive you around town, do this, do that, save you some money so you can buy a little booze tonight or cigarettes or whatnot? No, not really. Not interested in that. Now, if you're interested in me helping you try to find work and you want to really be employed so you can get back on your feet, what do we got to do? Let's do it. But that last group out there, though, is those individuals who are truly sincere. They've run into some tough times. They've found themselves homeless. They're people that would never have thought that they would be homeless. They found themselves in this situation, and they're there. And for those folks, we need to pray for them. But we also need to help, and we need to do more than what we're doing. I could tell you that FACC needs to do more with those folks than what we're doing. We need to help them more. We need to provide them as much support as we can to help them get back on their feet. Because at the end of the day, they're a lot like you and I. They just are. They just run into some bad times and some bad luck and made maybe a couple bad decisions. But they don't want to be where they're at. They don't want to live at the shelter. They don't want to live on the streets. They want to live in their own place. And I get just a charge out of that. I mean, that's a big picker up for me. It's a big picker up for me when a guy comes in and I know that, you know, he got a job, he's working. Maybe he's just staying in a room to rent for now, but he's back on his feet. He's on his way. Man, that's exciting. But you can see in this kind of business that frustration, because right now I'm probably talking about one group out of 4 that won't really frustrate you. And I was glad that I ran into some folks who have made it out of the shelter, who are getting back up on their feet. They really brought my spirits up. And I know this experience just from that alone is going to make me become even more committed to identifying those guys in our shelters and in our programs that really are sincere about making things happen and investing more of my time, investing more of my resources into them. And you know what, if that comes at the expense of the alcoholic or the addict that's not ready to overcome his barriers, if that's at the expense of the guy who's just lazy, who doesn't really want to try, well, so be it. That comes at that expense. But I want to invest more in that. And I think that's what I picked up over the last couple days. And so I'm back at it, doing my thing. Looking forward to tonight. I'm going to head over to the shelter probably about 5 o'clock when it opens up. I saved enough money. I'm going to buy those groceries today. Going to cook for the guys. My man Tim is cooking up some fried chicken and some cornbread. I'm going to be doing some jambalaya and some coleslaw. We got a full house over there tonight. So yeah, we're going to have a little party over there. And I'm excited. Terribly excited for tomorrow, coming for the hunger luncheon. Even though the numbers are down, it's going to be fun to share the experience. And frankly, most importantly of all, I just really look forward to going home. I miss my wife. I miss my kids. You know, I'm going to owe my wife big for this Christmas, I think, because I got to remember that while I've been out doing this 10 days of homelessness, you know, she's been a single mother with 4 kids. And I'm so grateful that I have in-laws that live just a few blocks away, because I know my mother-in-law and father-in-law have stepped up big time this week, and I love them. I appreciate them. I'm going to be so happy to get reunited with all my people, so to speak. So this is Dean Wright. This is the 10th day of the 10 days of homelessness. We'll be doing a couple probably special bonus things here and there. I want to do some stuff over at the mission tonight. But for now, this is Dean Wright, hoping that you have a blessed Wednesday.